So, again, we've talked earlier about the smoking ban and the issue. And do you really believe that the American Cancer Society, the American Lung Association, Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids were wrong on this issue, and being against the smoking ban was the right thing to do?
Here's what I think. I think they were so anxious to get a smoking ban, understandably, that in the negotiations on the bill, they caved on some important principles that I really thought were outrageous. I think it is outrageous to pass a bill and exempt by name 5 establishments because it's Mayor Giuliani's hangout, and that's what I said in the debate. I think that's an outrage. That's now how I want to make law. I don't want these laws that are hashed out and back, and they bring the advocates in and say, this is the best you're going to get, take it or leave it. And look, I understand why they took it. They worked long and hard for this. But to me, it was an imperfect bill. And, you know, frankly, I didn't have to make a decision about whether my vote would make it pass or not. It was quite obvious that everybody was smiling and ready to jump on board because it was popular. But I feel that people send me to Albany to be thoughtful, to worry about things like this. To me, that is the total antithesis of reform. I said that, to exempt 5 smoking joints because Rudy Giuliani picked up the phone and whispered to Joe Bruno, take care of my buddies, I like to hang out there. I'm not making that kind of laws. I don't think people want me to make it. And that's the antithesis of the reform kind of way you say the legislature should work. So, yeah, that same bill, the same numbers arrayed, the same supporters, the same backroom deal, I'd vote the same way, and I'd stand up the way I did. And I know I was going against the flow. I knew I was doing it that day. I think that's what people want me to do.
Okay. All right, I'm going to... You have a response to... No, okay.
I do, actually.
Okay.
That bill, and look, we agree about the exemptions, that bill was a life-saving bill, and it needed to pass, and it needed to have support, and we needed to know that there were champions for it. And the other thing I would say is, you know, when it comes to backroom Albany deals and explaining them away or saying they're okay, I feel like there's an inconsistency here. On some of them, on the ones where I don't like the conclusion, where I think a lot of people in the district don't like the conclusion, you say, well, that's the way Albany is. And then on this bill, you say, well, I'm not gonna do the ways of Albany. The fact is that when you do take contributions from lots of folks who are lobbying on the bill, corporations that are involved in the bill, and then vote against it, it calls into question your commitment on the issue, and I believe that's what's going on.
Yeah. Can I respond, please? The fact is, those contributions, beer wholesalers, Restaurant Association, by the way, didn't oppose this bill. They backed off on it. Beer wholesalers, I don't know what they have to do with it. But the reality is, they were back, none of those contributions were after 2002. In 1999, when some of those contributions were, I stood up on the Senate floor and demanded the self-extinguishing cigarette bill be passed. The last day of session, I raised Cain with the Republicans, and we came back in early 2000 and passed it. That bill cost the tobacco companies millions because they couldn't sell a cigarette in New York until they changed the whole formula so that when it was set down, it would go out. Okay, so I never kowtowed to tobacco. I took them on that bill.
Okay.
Contributions or not.
I want to move on to the